Welcome, friends, to Baba Beck website, a YouTuber, millionaire, with 17,000 subscribers, 1.7 million views, and thousands of likes. Let me ask you, do you like rare Lincoln cents? Worth a lot of money? Treasure hunting penny rolls from the bank at home? Do you like 80s pop rock bands? Do you love God in your life, spirituality, miracles? Do you like original comedy? Do you like to read books, sci-fi novels, thrillers, books that should be made into movies? If you said yes to any one of these questions, please click the link below and kindly share, like, and subscribe to Baba Beck YouTube channel. God bless America.
Yeah, I'm trying to show the color. Yeah, I'm trying to show the colors. There are various scents here. Look at the improper alloy mix. Look at the difference. Look at the difference in the color. I'm trying to pick up that glare for you. Yeah, there we go. There we go. See, look at that shine. Lincoln scents don't have a shine, don't have a glare. Look at this, look at this. See? Turn this coin around for you. Lincoln scents do not have glares, especially this old. Well, hello there. Welcome to the Bubba Beck channel. I'm a singer, a musician, an artist, a one-man band, a Lincoln Cent treasure hunter, science fiction writer, and comedian. There we go. See, look at that shine. Lincoln Cents don't have a shine, don't have a glare. Look at this, look at this. See? Turn this coin around for you. Lincoln Cents do not have glares, especially this old. Again, trying to show you, rather than just take a still picture, I'll take some still pictures too, but I spotted this here, this honey right here, 1978 D, 1978 D, and see, look at that glare, look at that glare. See, there we go, there we go. Look at this glare.
You want coffee?
See this glare? See this glare? Lincoln Cents do not have no glare. Improper alloy mix. Another one of those big money coins. Because if I go to a coin dealer and I ask him to find me one of these, they just laugh at me. They say, yeah, good luck, buddy. You know, I could offer $1 million to a coin dealer. But go find me an improper alloy mix and prove to me that there's something going on with this coin here. Yes, sir. Improper alloy mix. Again, 1978 D. Yeah. I gotta be one of the fortunate people in the United States of America to get the most of these improper alloy mix, especially into the 60s and 70s. So this is I'm doing this live for you guys. But I'll take some still pictures too. But this is a moment in history because this kind of stuff is not a variety. U.S. Mint probably will not even call it an error. They would just say, well, it just happened, and no comment and stuff like that. It's off what we call off the charts. Yes, sir, off the charts. Look at all these things. I'm trying to put them together for you so you can see what a huge, super difference that this is. Can you see? Can you see this coin? Look at this glare. We're talking some other metal. You're talking bronze, brass, I don't know. But it's got a glare. It's got a nice, sweet glare as the light hits it. Lincoln said this, we cannot have no glare. The only time they have a glare is kind of when they're brand spanking new. You know, that red. See, look at this. Look at this glare. I'm trying to move the camera around so you can see this glare. Yep. You see this? Yes, sir. And I'm going to turn it over for you. Yes, sir. And there's the glare again. See, look at that shine. See, look at that shine. Can you see it? Hey, yes, sir. So, what do we got here? Improper alloy mix. Something odd. Very, very, very odd. I'm going to try to hold this up a little bit for you in the light. See, look at this. Look at this glare. See, look at this glare. Trying to... Look at it. Whoa. Look at that shine. Look at this. To me, $1 million coin right there. A multi-million-dollar coin to me. Because there is impossible. A U.S. Mint coin. This old will do this. Thank you for sharing and liking, subscribing to my channel. This is Baba Beck saying Happy New Year, Happy 2021 to all my subscribers. Rolling. Hey, got a friend here at work. Let's see. Shepard, hey, let's say hello to YouTube, all the fans out there. He's you said what kind of breed?
A white shepherd.
White Shepherd. Okay. Yes. How would be looking awesome, man. That's beautiful. You're a star, buddy. You're a star, Shepherd. Nope. That's like Adventures in the Ear of the Giant by Alexander Beck. Book 1. This work is dedicated to all my children, friends, and beloveds, the ever-living angels within me. I thank members of the DC Metropolitan Police Department for reading the work and giving feedback. Thank you, Sergeant Luke, Officer Brian Denny, Charlie and Morrison, and friends serving the H Street Northeast overnights in Washington, D.C. What is sown is perishable. What is raised is imperishable. It is sown in dishonor. It is raised in glory. It is sown in weakness. It is raised in power. It is sown a physical body. It is raised a spiritual body. If there is a physical body, there is also a spiritual body. Contents: 1. The Forbidden Zone. 2. The Dig. 3. Wasberg. 4. The Weil. 5. The Museum. 6. David. 7. Pompey. 8. The Emperor. 9. The Search. 10. The Cave. 11. The Meeting. 12. The Desert. 13. Fear. 14. Supreme Being. 15. Galileo. Preface. Sire, is this what you're looking for? What is it, Doctor? If I can remember correctly, this is a self-sustained recording mechanism, but of course, a considerably late model. Did Sohail the Elder keep a very personal diary? How amusing. How absolutely daring of him. If it worries you, sire, we can destroy it in the laboratory immediately. No, that won't be necessary. You have the proper machine to play it back on? My lord, but there could be matters that are private to the late elder. Dr. Edgebrough, if he wanted to keep it hidden, the elders would not have sent me lengthy memorandums begging me to exhume his rotting body from the tomb 2 years after it all ended. Forgive me, sire. I had no idea. I am taking this device back through time. The time machine is yet an experimental model, sire. What about the aging reversal theory? Or aging forward could be dangerous, sire. Life is one significant risk, Doctor. A battle within a battle. May I ask what year? Somewhere in time. Somewhere around 2017. They were civilized, to my knowledge. The United States of America? The continent would be your best bet. Are you psychic? No. It was a good guess then. Prelude. The magnanimous starship Galileo cruised the spellbinding wefts of space. In the command module,
Captain Brent Fletcher viewed the latest transmission from Earth. It was short and blunt. Attempt no emergency landings on Earth. No explanation was given, but a short video followed, clearly showing the chaos on the streets. Then the warning repeated itself, snowflaking as it faded. 300 light years away, the stealth shuttles bombarded the front lines. The fearless Argonaut android soldiers kept firing lasers till their metal flesh turned molten red. Pompey rudely laughed, sitting on his jeweled electronic throne. Miles away, the young emperor Hattus II gazed through an infrared scope at the inferno of successfully accomplished bombing missions by the Seleucid rebels. Back in the city of the Holy Circle, hundreds sat around the sanctified Holy Circle on the hard checkered marble floor. In their beating hearts, a newborn fear. Since the mysterious arrival of the entity a month ago, the temples in the surrounding neighborhoods had been coined abandoned. In the hope of a prayer without the pestilent questions and torment from the entity, many rushed to enter the sacred boundaries of the Holy Circle. The entity had started a ruthless conversion process, forming a rudimentary cult, a religion, where it was God. Here and few other holy sites and city of Atlantis are the only places one is protected from the tainted shadows of the entity. Amongst the crowd, Ishmael tensed his tall, muscular body, thinking about his wife. 3 days ago, she was killed by the entity in a massacre at a local temple. Tears bubbled down his shady black eyes and dribbled down his bronze cheekbones. In a corner of the temple stood the elders, grouped up, wearing long decorative tunics, listening to the recital of holy books. Ishmael wiped the tears of sorrow and hate from his bloodshot, angry eyes. In his heart, he demanded justice. He had fought bravely on 22 battlegrounds against the persistent and highly mechanized army of the Argonaut androids. In the Seleucid army, he was a recognized commando. The high-ranking generals knew he had surpassed the requirements of the Academy of Science, a place where everyone went to awaken the sleeping hemispheres of the human brain. He closed his eyes. He took an oath in his heart to bring an end to the devastation caused by the entity, a beast that could laughingly withstand tremendous firepower aimed at his alien armorized skin. Even the Zabaru technique, hesitatingly tried by the elders to overturn the beast into itself, had unpleasantly failed, butchering the lives of 3 prominent elders, now martyrs in the eyes of the beholders. Ishmael has already welcomed the desperate invitation by the Emperor's Council to lead the team sanctioned by Emperor Hattus II. he had nothing more to live for but to devote all his energy for the cause burning in his heart, a crusade. He knew the elders had given a name to the entity, giant. Chapter 1. From the excerpts of Soel the Elder. A powerful demonic entity has taken possession of our most valuable resource, religion. The source of it is still unknown to us. Much is being done by the unfledged Emperor Hattus II. Still, the entity ravages the planet Earth. Beware of the creature known to us as the giant. He was in the Forbidden Zone. He had finally achieved what he sought. The mental stigma and risk to his life was over. A ray of happiness and pride flooded his tired mind, knowing that he had come to reality. He felt alone. He opened his eyes in the sepulchral red darkness and noticed the vial laying outside the circle he had drawn around himself. He unlocked his legs from the yoga position and gingerly picked up the vial. He examined it. He felt assured that the creature was his prisoner, jailed securely in the vial. He stood up, feeling his head spinning. He realized he had not eaten or drank anything in 7 days. He began to move slowly. He did not know where to. His sense of direction was jarred momentarily. He only wished to find the barrier and skillfully transform out of the wall. Samuel Kruger did not do this feat to excite his friends. He did it for the thrill of it, something to break the boredom of building human robots, one of his favorite avocations. But it had gone down the drain like an old book he had read countless times. Maybe I can trust my mother with my newfound secret, he thought. No tale telling till I can train the alien beast to be my loyal servant, till I can confide in him. Maybe I should consult the elders. Samuel Kruger's father had passed away when he was sucking his thumb. To fill the generation gap, he had taken up different type of thinking, a life built on logic, mathematics, religion. He was good enough to be mistaken as an android. The whirlwind noise of the bustling colorful clouds gave him a correct sense of direction. Moments later, he faced the wall, the invincible wall built by the Supreme Being to house the jinns, creatures of the night. Many had died trying what Samuel had accomplished in 7 straining days. He had tried to forget the horrific mental trip as it never happened. But vivid images of terror continued to cast chilling spells in his articulate brain. He would never do it again, he told himself repeatedly. Under any circumstances, traveling in the fifth dimension was a risky adventure. He wished never to see this clandestine world again. He faced the barrier at 50 yards. Samuel enacted the transformation cycle. He had prepared himself for this act, in theory, numerous times. The entry was not at all difficult, but to come out of it, no one had ever made it back. His life in the hands of his creative intelligence. He held the treasure, grappled in his right hand. He hoped someday, when he is emotionally ready, that the creature might bring him good luck in his wild ambition to rule the planet, the known worlds. He had planned to bury the creature on the other side of the barrier, somewhere in the vast desert where no one will ever find it, even in dreams of grand illusions. He forced his mental powers to excel within him, closed his eyes, and concentrated. If his experimental flight failed, he knew he would die dreadfully, suffocating, swimming hundreds of miles per hour in the thick, colorful clouds. A small tornado began to steam up on the other side of the barrier. He struggled to break through the web of the barrier, the rushing clouds. He saw the moments of his life pass before his eyes like a film fast forwarded. The academy, Sabrina, his strict mother, his whole life in abrupt sequences. Then finally, the test tube. His two split parts struggled with each other to attach to his real self. He felt the reins of the fabric, the magical, natural fabric of the barrier, ease the tension he was going through to break free. Like drops of rain descending in a calm lake, layers upon layers of his body glued themselves together, making him complete. He lay unconscious in the fervid sand. His head reeled from the effect of transforming under depleted body and soul energy. The black tunic he wore had become a wet rag from dried up sweat. He felt a crawling sensation over his exposed left arm. His numb brain signaled a poisonous threat about to be injected into the bloodstream. He managed to open his eyes, and they collided with two tiny little red eyes and a tail raised stiff with a deadly potion. His pupils dilated with fear, knowing that the death mark would be on his face, a short notice of death. With sudden reflexivity, he cupped a handful of hot sand in his right hand, closed his eyes firmly, and threw it hard on his face, twirling his body away at the same moment. Within seconds, it felt like a terrible fantasy to him that never happened. He took a breath of relief. After falling 3 times, he managed to keep his balance. He felt weak, but his mission was not over yet. He told himself he must find a suitable place to bury his newfound friend, creature, treasure, at least away from any prospective Argonauts or even Saluki rebels, or what of the nomads, who seemed to regard the wall of the forbidden zone as some sort of a shrine. He looked up at the beaming sun, determined the direction to his home, and began to pace towards it steadily. He had no choice but to stagger the miles in the blundering sands. Any further travel through the power of transformation was out of the question. His mental energies were used up. The desert heat made scarlet blisters on his skin. His vision became a series of unfocused mirages in the evaporating air. In his desert-ridden mind, he thought, what will they do if I told them about it? The Emperor, Wasberg, my much admirable teacher. Never. I must not tell. He stumbled across the desert, looking around with sun-soaked eyes as if someone was watching him, wanting to steal the creature in the vial that he held tightly in his right hand. Accustomed to seeing through the sand-sweeping desert, the leader of the nomads saw Samuel more than a mile away as a flickering dot. He unfolded his turban and halted the caravan of 11 camels, women, and children. At first, the leader thought he might be lost. Then what he always thought upon an unexpected encounter in the deep desert. Another adventurer from the mainlands, looking for God Almighty. What a fool! Only a damn fool would jeopardize his life in the deep desert without a camel. But the leader was experienced in the traps and deceptions of the far-reaching Argonauts, and he decided not to risk the entire lives of the caravan. On many such instances, the Argonauts had taken the nomads prisoner and tortured their women to get tactical information that the poor souls did not have. The caravan marched on, destined for another campsite near the sea. Blood ebbed through the sandals Samuel wore. The pain began to play a paramount role in his bodily system. He knew how to control it, sheer pain, and use the pain to overdrive his elapsing body to his final goal. He imagined himself as a paladin who must win the game, rule the world, a world filled with people he hated, like the emperor who was too young to snatch the throne from his father. His father did die fighting the Argonauts, but why him? Why not someone from the dynasty, he thought, clenching his teeth. He shoveled with his bare hands. A new acute pain emerged from the tips of his fingers and traveled to the reception centers of his brain. Droplets of sweat ran down his forehead, stinging his very eyes, tickling his mouth, and blistered, swollen lips. The trembling hands continued to make the hole deeper, wider. For a moment he stopped, exhausted, to look at the size and depth of the hole. No. I must do better than that. Much better. Sandstorms could uncover it, he babbled to himself. Seconds seemed like hours when he finally stopped his shaking, trembling hands from digging any further. His hands were half baked. He took the vial and placed it neatly in the hole. Before covering the sand piled around the hole, he admired the treasure he had risked so much for. To get within reach of having a chance to capture it, he had to enter the world where many only joked about going, but never did go, even if their sanity was working to a lesser degree. He looked back, time to time, as if the beast could escape on its own and tear him to pieces. He assured himself that the only way out for the creature was from spiritual words that he only knew, perhaps one elder. Unless, of course, if someone broke open the vial. He quickened his pace and prayed that the sun settled itself. Gruesome hours later, Samuel was within sight of his home. A home made of mud and tamarack stood before him. Most of the dwelling were underground to protect the inhabitants against Argonaut air raids. He gently knocked on the door, surrounded by overhanging plant life. Sabrina, his mother, opened the door with a surprised, frozen look on her gentle, fair, ladylike face. Exhausted, he fell into her arms. The abrupt pounding of bombs dropped several miles away woke up Samuel Kruger from his comatose state of sleep. The ground shook, and tremors released dust particles through the canvased walls of the underground room. He felt an itching in his right arm. He had been nurtured back to health intravenously. He reached for the remote control that breathed life into his lovely androids and pressed a button pointing it towards the walk-in closet. Angelica opened her doll-like green eyes. She stood next to two other female robots. One had a face missing and the other without an abdominal plate to cover the exposed circuitry. The tanned plastic flesh wearing a pink negligee moved out of the closet and closed the door. She smiled at him, reflexing her long, sultry blonde hair. She adjusted her shapely body in a seductive fashion, coming towards him. "You have been away for a long time," she spoke as she sat down on the bedside. He gave her another command through the remote control, and she spoke the same sentence in a softer female tonality. "You have been away for a long time, Master." "Yes, Angelica," he replied, caressing her arms and back. "How was it?" she asked. "Something I should forget," he replied. "Why?" she asked. "You would not understand." He looked away for a moment. "And why not?" she asked. "Because you don't know about the Forbidden Zone. You need further programming to comprehend. He rolled her over into an embrace. She returned his gestures with a subroutine full of kisses. Off voiced Angelica, and the bright incandescent lamp floating above them turned off. He closed his eyes, holding his favorite creation. He let his mind drift into darkness and dreams.